If you've encountered Kilton, you know this character adores monsters to bits and has located himself in Tarrey Town to undergo this dream project of changing the public perception of monsters through sculptures. He can't make very good descriptions of the monsters though, and that's when you come in, wielding the oh-so-powerful camera. The first monster he needs a photo of is of a bokoblin. I've had a photo of an armored one that I saw in the depths and thought the actual sculpture was gonna simply be like a standard or stock bokoblin. Kind of like you show the picture and then it just classifies it as that and then spits something out. But no, it's the armored one exactly, along with its accurate pose. And it was that moment that I found this to be so exciting. The monster diorama is one of my favorite things to play around with. It also yields the monster garb for your horse, which makes it look quite monstrous indeed. So stay tuned for that. But after the first bokoblin, he wants to see a Horriblin. I found some black Horriblins, I don't know how to say it, and the sculpture reflected that. It also did its pose, and that's pretty comical in and of itself, but since there's no wall to stick to, I finally got to put the thing on the ground and make it look like it belongs there, all on fours. The two of them look like they're having a good conversation with one another. Once you fulfill the request, Kilton invites the entire village to a TED Talk about the monster, just as he did with the bokoblin. And for the Horriblin, he compliments it on how stylish it is with its luscious locks. You get some sneaky soup as a reward for this one. And now you can start building sculptures of monsters that you want to see. And you can also fulfill Kilton's request as well. I got a sculpture made of an armored Lionel I saw in the distance while in the depths. Finally, I can view it up close and personal with a menacing statue. The armored beast can sit nicely on top. I also had a photo of a Skelnox that I had in order to get the paraglider fabric, which also got to stand next to the huge armored beast. The next monster Kilton wishes to see is a battled Talus. Every one of these requests and photography missions feels like a life-risking endeavor, but at least I get to listen to the Talus battle music. It's fun to scope him out. You know, whatever he wants, the request, go find it, take good pictures, and then come back. The battled Talus sculpture is huge, but it needs to be in order for it to be a home for the monsters, thanks to its big heart and all, as Kilton explains. But after that, you can get the monster Bridle, which again, makes your horse look kind of monstrous with all the fabrics and things going on and the color. It's super fun to take the requests and try and snap a good photo of what Kilton wants to see. But I love the extra effort that went into this for the ability to create a sculpture from any photo of a monster practically and have it remain accurate in pose and all that. Like, it would have been easier to do stock monster sculptures or something, but the fact that you can customize and personalize it based on the photos you take and the monsters you want to find, it just makes it really fun. I really love this. That's why I want to kind of highlight it. Though, like I mentioned, sometimes it does feel a little risky going out and snapping photos of some of the tough creatures. The next one he wanted to see was a Frox, which is a depths monster. For the most part, I stuck to business and hunted one down just to snag a photo of it before dipping out quickly and returning to make the sculpture. And of this, I knew I wanted to show it with its mouth wide open like it does in the depths. And once I got the sculpture and found a place for it, it looked like it was gonna chomp onto the Lionel. Kilton's explanations and story surrounding the monsters is also very charming because he just loves monsters that much. I love it when he says, "Look and learn, then you won't hate," because it truly shows that. After all that, the reward was the monster saddle, along with some monster elixir. So there you go. You can kind of do that and get those rewards, but you can also go further. Now, as sculptures got made, the stage began to get crowded. You can have 10 sculptures, it looks like, and if you'd like to make room for more, you would have to move them back over to the area of construction in order for Hudson to break them down. Then you can build more. So as long as you have the pictures, you're free to create a lot of different things and capture many different monsters to put up on stage. A huge Zora Boss bokoblin, the first one I ever saw, snapped a photo of that. And although the sculptures can be finicky, I even got a silver bokoblin to sit atop on the hand, almost in order to complement the pose. Also, constructs count as well. I was able to snap photos of a few constructs out in the wild, and they happened to be pretty up there in terms of level and power. As long as the picture was clear, Hudson did his thing and constructed the construct perfectly. I really love that. Okay, And now I want to talk about my favorite sculptures made and the personal quest for them, but spoilers for the 4 bosses. So once you defeat the boss of the main 4 regions of the, storyline, you can rematch them in the depths. I didn't know this, so I was stunned the first time I saw Colgera while down there. You can find Colgera up north, the top left of the map. It slinks around while in the sky, and I was only there to snap a photo because yes, they are of course monsters, which are fair game for sculptures. The Colgera sculpture is really cool to look at. I love seeing this beast in its tiny form, but compared to other sculptures, it is anything but tiny up on that stage. Afterwards, I went to search for Mukturok, which I was excited to see. There's a gloomy well you can jump into in Rowan Plain right by the Kiyoyu Shrine. These pronunciations, I don't know. Once you jump down, you'll find a light root right there to light up, and Mukturok's rematch area is also just right there. Seeing it off in the distance, just swimming around ominously, is so cool to see. Right next to the Uyoyuik light root, which is just the backwards spelling of Kiyoyu. I wasn't down there to have the full rematch just yet, just to take pictures. I wanted to snap a few of them to see what the different poses might look like when made into a sculpture, because I'm just super curious. The music of Mukturok is also so fun to listen to. The rematch is super fun idea at least. I can't wait to defeat him. The first sculpture that was yielded from the photo of just the fin is probably the funniest. It really is true to nature and shows just the fin and the sledge. But the other sculptures did this monster justice. It truly looks like a dinosaur Jurassic beast. I love the design for this one. I also really like that they can easily stand on the tip of its tail, and it was probably going to need to do that anyway if I wanted to fit it with the other bosses on stage. Hope the people of Tarrey Town enjoy this. Then was the marbled goma, which is once again a true sight to see if you're just coming in from above and able to catch a glimpse of the beast below, lurking and waiting. It's right next to the Uansnoj light root in the Laneiru wetlands depths, under the Jonso Shrine. I didn't have a particular pose or anything in mind for it. Unlike the previous, it doesn't have that much varied movement. So it's all good. I figured it's a crab like it is anyway, that's fine. Take a picture and dip out. This sculpture is a nice replica of it. It's tiny, but still large in scale for the sculpture. And it was placed right by the other 2 as well. The big boss stage only had 1 more monster to display. While in the depths, I did come across a strange soldier who didn't disappear when I took the weapon from it, so got to take a nice photo together with it and the empty hands. But then I guess it did get camera shy and did disappear. After a journey, I was finally able to see where Queen Gibdo resided, scurrying along like the giant bug she is. The light root you can see in the background just right next to her is the Korakut light root, not that far from the marbled goma. Going into the Queen Gibdo ring, I wanted to get a picture of her also when she turns white. I figured that could make a cool sculpture too, so quickly did some damage and took a few pictures as the battle raged on before ending it abruptly so I could go turn the photos into a sick sculpture. And yeah, the regular looking Queen Gibdo sculpture is pretty accurate and just as creepy as the real deal, but getting a good picture of it before attack and while it was in that vulnerable white state was also really cool to see turned into a piece. The last monster that Kilton wants you to find before it's a free-for-all is the King Gleeok, which there's a few locations I had to hunt it down. It's kind of hard to get to, at least the one I went to in Hebra. Basically, this monster is ferocious, but I was only there for a photo, and once I snapped the photo, I was able to dip on out of there and go back to Tarrey Town to deliver the final monster. You got to see the Gleeok. Don't know how that's gonna fit. Tried to make it fit as best as I could. It's giant along with these other giant sculptures. It's a mess. I'm sorry, Kilton. He gives his spiel and that's that. And after that, you get a diamond as a reward and the usual elixir. And then he is open to any monster you find. Pretty much. Just as he has been already. But that's the end of the requests. All in all, like I said, I love this. It's great. It's just a super cool little detail I love so much. And I just love seeing it every time I fly into Tarrey Town. I could imagine people probably built some cool looking displays with the freedom it allows. And I'd love to hear about your experiences as well. If anything, go and get that monster stuff for your horse. That's pretty cool. If you enjoyed as much as I did, like I said, let me know. But thank you so much for watching. And I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye.